Well, hello. Welcome to Dashcam Diary of a Disabled with me, Chronically Happy. Time to get out of this flipping parking lot I have been sitting in for over an hour. Okay, just go ahead, old person. Just keep on driving. Parking lots are dangerous, yo. You never know when somebody's going to be running or driving through it without paying attention to people with reverse lights on, starting to back up, whatever the case may be. But I'm not letting this ruin my day. I am just going to be happy because I got some wonderful things accomplished. I am freaking stoked. I'm saving $150 on an MRI I don't need to get tomorrow. Is this a no right turn only over there? No left turn, okay. I'm not used to going this way. It's kind of like backwards. But I just need to get on the I-5 as quickly as possible because I have therapy in exactly a half hour. And it takes me exactly a half hour to get back home to my town. It is a rough day because it started so early and I am thirsty as a mofo and I'm just so dehydrated, and here I have left is just a Red Bull. I started off the day by getting pulled over by the cops on the way to my chiropractor appointment, putting me even more later than I would have liked. Luckily, the cop was kind, and it was really funny when I rolled down the window. I guess I was riding the shoulder a little bit too much, which I often do because I've been in too many accidents. I've been sideswiped. People ride the line all the time, so I feel confident and fine for riding the line when it's the shoulder. And I know people can be in the shoulder, and it can, be bad to ride the shoulder too. But it is way more dangerous to cross the line into the lane next to you to the left with the traffic that are going with you or even against you. I find that if I'm going to ride a line, it is so much safer just to ride the shoulder. But just to let y'all know, if you ride the shoulder or cross it like 4 times like I did, according to the cop. Oh, there goes 2 cop cars going the opposite direction just now. Speaking of coppers, so yeah, I got pulled over on the way because I was riding the line too much. And then I all of a sudden I looked over to my left, saw it was a cop, and then immediately he like almost stopped, got right behind me, turned the lights on immediately. And I was like, all right, let's pull over. What's he going to pull me over for this time? Because I looked at my speedometer and I'm like, I don't think I'm speeding. Am I following somebody to? Yeah, I was riding the shoulder too much. So that alerted him to pull me over. And I rolled down this window, but it's just been so long since I've been pulled over that I guess they're now all just going to the opposite sides for their own safety, because if cars riding the shoulder like me, it could potentially, hurt them. So I understand. Oh, hey, look, there's another cop right now going that direction. Crazy. The more I talk about cops, the more I see them like all over the place right now inside Salem. Anyways, so yeah, I started my day getting pulled over. I was 15 late to my appointment, which only left me 15 minutes of adjustment time, which really isn't enough. It's just not enough time. I need at least 20, 25 minutes, if not a full 30, 35 minutes. 35 minutes, 45 minutes. 45 minutes is ideal. Honestly, I wish they had 45-minute appointments because that would be perfect. Perfecto. But they only do half-hour appointments, and they still only charge me for a half-hour appointment for my hour appointment. But they only allow me 1 hour appointment 1 time a week, The rest of the time is 30 minutes, and I've been having to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday since my fall. Since our storms have been wiping out electricity, it has really messed up my chiropractic schedule. I haven't had PT since like beginning of December, and I don't get my next appointment until the end of next month. So I have no physical therapy. I just got done with trigger point injections. It's a busy flipping day, I tell you, man. Like, I was supposed to try and get a drug test done, but my doctor didn't get the after summary notes put in for the drug tests. Like, I just don't like it when he surprises me with drug tests. Like, I want to, like, be in control of when I do them. But by law, he's supposed to be doing them every 3 months, and I feel like he, like, rarely ever does them on me anymore. He did it first, like, the first 2 years, but ever since then, he's just like, eh. Maybe he's hoping to catch me in the middle of taking something else and, like, do a pop-up one or something on a random other visit. I don't know. I don't know what his thinking is, but, you know, I'm more than willing to do it. It's just, I don't like to be taken by surprise when I'm, like, going to do regular labs and then they're telling me you have to do all of the labs all at once, and if I'm not prepared to go pee because I already peed or something, it makes me mad. It makes me mad. And then if I refuse to do the test, then it's going to look like, you know, maybe I am on something that I don't want to find. You know, there's so much to do this freaking pain management stuff. But just come to find out, my doctor also can do prolotherapy and PRP. And I'm like, really? Why hasn't he even offered me any of this stuff? Like, like, come on, Dr. Patchman. He's the one that prescribes my pain patches. And it's like, come on, why don't you offer me other treatments? Like, even if it comes out of pocket, like, please at least just let me know that you do these things. And it was just an off-the-wall question today because, I don't know, my ADHD brain was just thinking about all kinds of different things, and it popped out of my mouth while he was doing my trigger point injections. I'm like, what do you know about prolotherapy? And he was like, oh, prolotherapy and PRP? And I'm like, oh, well, what's the difference between that? What's PRP? I don't know what that is. So I had to look that up. I believe I've heard of it. I know I've heard the acronym, but it's not something that I've really looked into at length or anything. So now that I saw what it is, I'm like, I gotta go call my insurance, which I need to call them anyway today to find out what they're doing with my acupuncture. I'm going to have to get a hold of Optum because it gets uploaded to that portal first before the United Healthcare. It's almost like the VA, how the VA does some jacked up stuff. Like, the VA does all the pre-authorizations and stuff and the referrals and, like, you know, writes up the whole what you're authorized to do for that patient. Like, the VA outlines everything in the paperwork of what that doctor is allowed to order, what they're allowed to test for, what labs, and essentially they leave it up to the doctor's specialty because that's what their specialty is. So they leave it up to the provider to decide what is necessary, medically necessary or not, which is wonderful about my VA. Like, at least they have it in their guidelines that, look, you can do this, this, and this. And, you know, as long as it's, like, approved through the VA, you know, it's pre-authorized. So she can pretty much order whatever the F she wants. So I'm so thankful for that because I got my doctor to order a lumbar MRI and a cervical MRI, but she says she doesn't think that she could get the thoracic approved. So she only got 2 out of the 3. I had already gotten the lumbar approved through Medicare, but I decided to cancel that today because if I can get my primary care to order a thoracic in place of the lumbar that he ordered that I canceled today, because why am I going to get 2 lumbar MRIs? I was trying to see who could get it done first. And since there's not that long of a wait, I have like 2 weeks wait for the MRIs. That'll just give me a little bit more time to prepare to see how things are. And I'm honestly healing since my fall. These MRIs should have been done a lot sooner, but I'd have to say my thoracic back is giving me the most problems that my doctors and I cannot solve. We cannot solve, and we cannot get my thoracic back, part of my back, aligned well enough. It hurts so bad. Whatever damage I did, it's bad in my thoracic, and I really need to know what's going on with it. I have to know. And typically, like, numbness and tingling down the arm has to do with the neck, but also, it's not necessarily my neck, it's my thoracic. It's my thoracic that's having problems. And it's my thoracic that has more pain than anything else. The other pain is blocked by my pain patches. But the thoracic and shoulder movement and instability is so bad. So if I'm going to be checking into prolotherapy and PRP, which is my next step, because now that I have no PT, at least till the end of January, I want to try other treatments. I want to exhaust everything before I go under the knife. I want to see what I can manage before surgery, so that I know what I might be able to get away with after surgery, depending on the outcome of surgery. If the outcome isn't what I hope for after surgery, then I need to have a plan B and C, because I don't want to have unrealistic expectations of having no pain. I know I'm always going to have pain in my life. Always. I will always have pain. But to the degree that I have it with tethered cord, it's unbearable. And for other people that struggle with tethered cord, I feel extremely bad for. I have so much empathy, because I know what I'm experiencing, and it's terrible. I would not want this upon my worst enemy. But I've been having an extremely good day despite the pain. And I want to focus on the good over the bad. And the good is I canceled my MRI in enough time, so I'm not going to get charged for canceling my MRI too short a notice. That way they can still fill the slot tomorrow with somebody else that might need it better or sooner than me. I can wait until the 14th. And that way I don't have to pay the copay. I'm willing to pay the copay, but on a different portion of my back. So now I need to schedule an appointment with my doctor, who's on vacation right now, who's in 3 different countries right now, visiting 3 different countries. I hope I can convince him to order a thoracic. Maybe I can get scheduled with one of his covering providers, maybe. I don't know. I might try that. And if that provider doesn't provide what I need, then I'll schedule with my doctor when he gets back. And I'll try and propose it to him. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to talk to my therapist about a lot of this. I've only had one appointment with her. Last week was an emergency that she had to get out of my appointment. I'm hoping I have enough time to log in and do any pre-checks before I log in right now, because I am pushing the time limit right now. All because I decided to do some blood work, which I was hoping to get my P test done, but my doctor didn't order that in. I hope he puts in an order for my freaking pain patches too, but Honestly, I can just get the pharmacy to request it, and it'll take a day or two for him to, do that. I will go look and see what I have at home once I get home. I think I have one last patch that I'm changing out tomorrow, so I need to get on top of getting that refill done. Gosh, I'm so thankful I got that MRI thing scheduled with OHSU. I'm so thankful. They were booking over a month out at their main location, Beaverton location. I got in with the other location was going to be another standalone location, but I'm not going to go through them because I already have something scheduled. I wish I could get another OHSU doctor just to order it so I don't have to pay, but whatever. I'm trying to save money so I can have a place to stay during the week after my surgery. Otherwise, I'm going to be having to travel 3.5 hours 2 ways, 2 times, just in a lot of pain probably. So I'm going to have to stay in a hotel, an extended stay after my surgery, just to try and stay comfortable. I wish I could stay in the hospital, but also not because it's not comfortable. But yeah, I have to look at the dates of everything on my MyChart stuff because I think they've just now scheduled my follow-up visit. And they coordinated with the VA, like a good office and billing department, insurance department should be, referral department, whatever deals with all that. Because my authorization expired like right before my surgery date, so right after, so that's crazy. So they had to change my whole pre-authorization. And gosh, I have so much to do. I need to go back into Salem after my freaking appointment today. If I even have energy. I doubt I will. I slept like crap last night. But I'm also trying to cut down on my anxiety med use because of my psychiatrist and I are thinking about switching out my daytime one just because dependence upon one type. My body is just very dependent, very fast. It just responds so well to certain things, and then other things it does not respond well to. I honestly need to figure out my thyroid medication stuff. I honestly hope that with today's labs, I will be able to see what I need to do for next steps, because I think I need to get different thyroid medication. My T3 is shooting up too high, and I believe I'm having more tachycardia episodes, racing pulse. So my heart is working harder than it needs to. And so I have a lot of salt cravings because salt helps the heart beat and electric pulses kind of thing. Salt needs to be there. And I don't know how imbalanced I am right now, but I'm trying. It's an uphill battle for somebody like me to try and get all my deficiencies corrected and my blood work fixed. And it's going to be interesting. I want to see how my infusions change my blood work. I've only done this one other time, so this is my second time doing blood work the day after my infusion. And that's really going to be telling, because I've heard that IgG infusions alter your labs. And I'm like, but how? For me, I'm going to figure out how it alters it for me. And it's going to be very interesting to see what the results are today from yesterday's infusion. Normally I would wait until Wednesdays, and Wednesdays are so Tuesday's my change patch day. So that might change things too a little bit with my body's chemistry, changing the patch. So when I do blood work on Wednesdays, it is closest to its normal as it's adjusting to the new patch. But then every Sunday is my infusion and infusion day. I get so bored with the routine of having to do it. And it makes it really hard for me to want to do it because I find weekends to be like, I need to relax on these days. I need to chill. I need to recover from the week. Like, this month has been so doctor appointment heavy, and I'm still trying to follow up with every single doctor with everything I need to do. Still need to send my rheumatologist the phone number to fax the eye exam to my VA clinic. I need to schedule the eye exam, but without a doctor's order, I don't think I can just go in there and get an eye exam for a certain time. My rheumatologist does not think I have RA, which my pain patch doctor presented to me today. He's like, so your rheumatologist don't think you have RA? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I have something. I have tested negative for Sjogren's disease, RA, and lupus multiple times. I've tested positive for lupus one time. My ANA tested positive once. And that was right before my first tethered cord surgery, when my body was going haywire with anaphylaxis, with mast cell triggers like crazy. I was still eating like a full food diet. Gosh, there's so much on my mind. There's so many things I need to do. The eye exam stuff, being on the medication for RA lupus. And he asked me if I think the medication's helping. I'm like, I don't know. In all honesty, so I may just end up not taking that medication, but I need to get into my rheumatologist in person. We've only had telehealth so far. He needs to be able to palpate and do a whole physical exam to try and figure out what it is he can help me with. Like, why is he my doctor if I don't have RA, kind of thing? Like, what is it that no other doctor has found yet? He wants to try me on some methotrexate, which is a medication that's been very beneficial to a multitude of people that I know that do have chronic illness. And my ex-friend, Amy in Vegas, that I had a falling out with 2 years ago, she just had a long, lengthy conversation with my mom. I got to sit in and listen on some of it. Which I was happy to hear her voice. I really wished I could talk to her, but I'm also kind of not in a good headspace still to be able to communicate in a way that is empathetic enough for her. But she's experiencing every diagnosis that I already have. And I wish I could just be like, I told you so. Like, I really thought it was something similar to me, but you can't derail somebody from what they already think. They have confirmation bias. And I have confirmation bias too. 100%. I admit it. Pretty much almost everybody has some kind of confirmation bias. If you don't know that definition, please look it up. It's kind of what it sounds like. You're biased because you find the answer that you're looking for, that you thought it was. And, I've been known to be wrong. And I would hate to try and steer somebody in the wrong direction of what I think it might be, because everybody is different, and everybody, it is a spectrum. every disease is a spectrum of a sort, and not everybody has the same side effects. Not everybody responds the same way to medication. Genetics, epigenetics, I mean, so many things play a role in how things present themselves and how they respond to treatments, and just everybody's different. And we need to respect that, and doctors don't treat everybody differently. They treat everybody the same for the most part. And when you go to a doctor, the doctor's prerogative and main goal is to treat your symptoms. That is what a doctor is there for. A primary doctor is there to treat your symptoms. And if you have no symptoms that are definitive, that they know anything about, then they cannot treat you. And so that's where some gaslighting may come into play with certain individuals with certain undiagnosed problems. If you can't treat something, then the doctor is not going to listen to you, essentially. If they don't know how to treat it, because there is no treatment protocol for something, because they don't know what it is, and they don't know, everything else comes back fine and normal, it's just a detriment to trying to get help. But anyway, I'm at home. I need to get in and go check in for my therapy appointment. My seatbelt sucks, man. I need a new motor thing in there. So anyway, I know I was kind of all over the place with things here and there, but I mean, that's my life, man. Or woman. My life's complicated. And it's hard to navigate. I have so many other things I want to talk about, but I'll talk with it to my therapist, I suppose, for now, and maybe I can refine it and make it better for my video that's coming up later. All right, so I love y'all. Peace out.